Dan Coole from Surgical Holdings is the chair of ABHI's Surgical Instruments Group. Dan, thanks for joining us today. People will be interested. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and your background relevant to leading this group for us.
Hi, Richard. Thanks for the introduction. So, yeah, Dan Coole, I'm Managing Director of Surgical Holdings. Relevance in terms of why I'm involved in the group. Well, I've been involved in medical devices since I was 16, so 25 years, so a fairly long time. And family-wise, we've got a long heritage in surgical instrumentation dating back to the sort of early 1900s, when sort of several generations have been involved in manufacturing surgical instruments. So having done an apprenticeship for making surgical instruments and then been involved in quality systems and past sort of 15 years MD and running the company. Yeah, it's a fair bit of experience, I suppose.
Yeah, that's great. It's a great story, Dan, and not untypical, I think, of many of the companies in our space. And we must make sure we tell it to a wider audience one day. So, look, surgical instruments, that covers a multitude of things. I think absolutely essential to delivery of modern healthcare. Not everybody listening will know much about the sector. Maybe just say a word about some of the products and services that are offered by members of your group.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we have, I think, around probably 20 or so companies that regularly attend meetings, all of which offering something different, really. I mean, probably people think of surgical instruments as stainless steel instruments generally, but there's a lot more to it than that. So you have, of course, reusable variety of instruments, which would cover all sorts of surgical disciplines from general surgery, gynae, neuro, orthopedics, instruments of all different manner of types, from forceps to big retractor systems. And on the other side of it, you also, of course, now have single-use instrumentation, which plays a key part in the healthcare areas that it's generally popular in. So things such as suction tubes, devices that you can't get clean, but particularly well. Different delicate devices, so ENT, it's very, very popular in, and I'm sure there are other areas as well. And we've got members that attend the groups who produce those instruments. Also, we have members in the group who have what I class of, I guess, ancillary products that support the instrumentation. So baskets, containers, plastic containers for holding instrumentations, kidney dishes, that sort of thing, really. So it's a fairly wide spectrum.
That's great, and I think a lot of those things are actually going to be really important in educating people, officials particularly, on that balance between single use and reusable, and where plastic is the most appropriate material clinically, financially, and indeed environmentally. So a lot of work to do there. Dan, one thing your group's done as well, if not better than others, is you've done some fantastic publications in the past on highlighting the role the industry plays in the surgical instruments area. Just tell us a little bit about that, and also some of the priorities you're going to be working on in the months and years ahead.
Well, I think our initial plan was to make sure that we could publicise what the group did. So that involved initially getting out there and doing some presentations and seminars at different events, decontamination events, theatre events, and then we pulled together some guidance around quality of surgical instruments and how to look at that, and regulatory, what goes into the regulatory side of surgical instruments, so you can put them on the market. So just sharing educational pieces, really. More recently, we've produced a strategy document which really summarises in a lot more detail what I've explained about the group and what we do, what we're trying to do. Obviously, sustainability is a big part of that, and more recently, we're now working towards producing a more formal educational course, I guess, for want of a better description. We're sort of finalising whether that's going to be something that will be delivered as a webinar, or whether that could possibly be some sort of online qualification. But we, through our engagement with our industry, through sterile service departments and through theatre departments, the hunger for education is there, and we're in a good position to provide that information.
Dan, that is so exciting to hear that, and perhaps we'll have to have you back in a few months' time to see that's going. I know certainly if we can, other groups will definitely be able to learn from that, and I'm sure as a result of this, you'll be your email will be pinging with your fellow chairs across the association. Dan, that's fantastic. It's been great to speak to you today, and we're doing this on the 1st of October 21. So it just leaves me to thank you as always so much for your leadership over a period of time now with this group, and your energy and enthusiasm you bring in. We very much enjoy working with you, and long may that continue.
Thanks, Richard. Thanks for your support. Cheers.